96.1 FM. It is Wednesday, October 11, 2023. I'm Devonne Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me on the program today. Let me apologize for the late start, but we are going to get right into the discussion for today. As we are happening now, actually, at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort is the national consultation with the youth on sustainable island state transformation. At that consultation today, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew made remarks, and we had key presentations from other ministries such as sustainable development, finance, climate action, and of course the aim of that consultation is to engage with young people across St. Kitts and Nevis, from CFPC, the secondary schools, the Nevis Sixth Form College, to get their thoughts and ideas on the way forward here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I want to use that consultation to have a conversation on it. I was able to get some very useful information out of the consultation, the first half an hour, 45 minutes, some very useful information as it relates to the GDP in St. Kitts and Nevis, and some statistics on employment in different sectors such as tourism and hospitality, the construction sector, different areas in the private sector, the public sector. And I want to share this information with you. You know, oftentimes we have these conversations about how the country is performing and how we are doing, but we don't really see the statistics to substantiate that. They have shared the information, as I mentioned, as it relates to the GDP. They also shared some information about visitor arrivals and how St. Kitts and Nevis was impacted by COVID-19 and the recovery. It also shared information, employment, and all of that. It is 11:15 a.m. here in the studios of ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. You're listening to The Edge. Of course, I love to give out the numbers early. You can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Again, the numbers are 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Now, the consultation that is taking place today, I think it also ties in well with the Sustainable Development Goals, and these are also known as the Global Goals, and they were adopted by the United Nations back in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Now, the 17 SDGs are integrated. They recognize that action in one area, of course, will affect the outcome or outcomes in others. And that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Countries have committed to prioritize progress for those areas. The SDGs are designed, as I mentioned, end poverty, hunger, AIDS, and discrimination against women and girls. The creativity, know-how, technology, and financial resources from all of society is necessary to achieve the SDGs in every context. And the consultation that is taking place today, and other consultations with public and private sector, and today the focus being on young people, are very important for us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. The consultation has also taken place years. All right, we're gonna, I know it's early, but we're gonna take a short break. I want to get some information quickly, and we will be right back. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
Tune into ZIZ, the nation station, keeping your company at home, work, or on the go. We play today's hits and yesterday's favorites, bringing you the latest information and entertainment. Want to advertise with us? We have television and 2 radio stations to help get the word out. Call us now at 465-2621 and let us help you reach your audience. ZIZ, the nation station, your source for music, news, and more.
Join us every Wednesday for In Focus, a weekly talk show produced by the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, where we provide exclusives with key persons within the government and discuss pertinent, relevant, and interesting matters that affect us all. Tune in every Wednesday, live on ZIZ Radio and streamed live on Facebook at SKNIS Media and ZIZ Online. In Focus, your government, your business.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me in the program today. It is Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. Again, for those of you who are just joining the program, you can call us later on at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Those are the numbers that you call. The conversation for today will be centered around the National Consultation on the Youth on Sustainable Island State. We have our first call for this morning, and so we're going to head right to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You are on the air. Welcome to The Edge.
Yeah, good morning, Devon.
How are you doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. You know, first of all, I want to thank God for life, thank God for the Federation of St. Kitts that made it. Now, Devon, good topic. And it's all right to see that young people, especially, educated toward what's going on in government and to politics and everything, because this is where we want in this country, that we want information from government. And I hope that we get more things to bring out things like the ZIZ Radio program and everything, and, you know, that people can really understand how the country running and everything and how things going.
Right.
Because sometimes that, you know, sometimes when you hear certain things, you sound like propaganda. Man, these things are true, man. These things are, you hear this guy with that, you hear that guy with this one, you hear this, that, and that. But now we're coming out and we're hearing these things, you know. I feel good. As a national of this country, I don't feel good when I hear government information. And we are to show young people get educated toward the politics and not too ignorant. And then before I got a little problem of the topic. Now, I don't know if you know that the government, the bus terminal where they got them boot down there. You know, the government did build some boot down there. And they build them that to the ordinary people to do the business. But you got some people got a boot for years locked down. And when you tell them about it, they say they're paying for it. I believe that the boat them there to people to do business, people who want a business in town to turn over their money or do whatever. And these boat locked down, so some of them locked down for years. And when you question the people about these boats, they say that they're paying for them. So I want the government to do something, because government could do anything to find an ordinary man or woman who wants to do business in Boston, especially in them boats. Do something about it, or they take the boat from them or something, and let somebody move on. Because I believe that is real nonsense. You make your boat to make money to the young entrepreneurs still, and you got locked down for years. That is selfishness, Devon. So I just want the government, whoever in charge of this boat, listen to me and do what they got to do something about it. All right then.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the discussion, and thank you for mentioning that, hoping that the powers that be are listening. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM, and if you're just tuning in, we're on the topic of the youth consultation happening at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, and it is on the Sustainable Island State Transformation. Let's head back to the phone lines. We have another caller.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad for my age. And good morning to the listeners home and abroad. Cargo here. Very good topic. So, it's a very good topic, but it is very sad to see that we are having a youth consultation, and yet the private sector and the government sector cannot find the jobs for these youths. But we're having a youth forum talking about youth and molding youth, and we keep saying all the time, the youth are the ones to pass the baton to, but yet, the same government, you are the government, because the other 3 governments before do the same thing. It is very sickening, so, to see that government is calling back all these old grandmother and grandpa back in the service and telling you they overqualify with all the subjects and things. These people have made the contribution and keep saying it for years. You already made your contribution, go home and enjoy your retirement. Right? Because their life is like this. Your mother and your father have said. One gets pregnant. You born, you creep, you walk, you go back to your preschool, private school, high school, college, if you could afford to, you enter the work world. Then after the work world is retirement. After retirement, death come calling. It's a process. You have to move over and hand over the baton to those who are waiting. Mm-hmm. And it is wrong, Devon, for you to tell people go to school and learn your education. They go to school, go to Graham College, go to university. The people come back with the best in the world. And then when they come back, they tell them they overqualified. We don't have no work for you because you overqualified. What rubbish and nonsense is that? And then you're going to take up somebody 65 and 68 and 70 plus and bring them back. And then you tell somebody who just come out of university 6 and 8 years with the best in the world, you could know to make the contribution. And you're going to tell the man going to work for you? The bank calling them, what they must tell the bank every month, but you're going to bring back somebody who getting the social security, who getting the pension, who don't get the gratuity, and you're going to bring them back, giving them a big salary when you could hire 3, 4 highly young educated people with that money. So I don't see what having a youth conference for because the youth is not getting anything. All they're going over there is a photo shoot and a talk shop. Because remember, still going to hire the old people who should be home, sitting on the landing in the rocking chair, in the comfort zone and enjoying a little drink and watching a little television, enjoying this nice cold breeze and the hot sun that we have in. Or go over the beach, take a little relaxation, and let the young people make the contribution. So the youth conference, it is good for the youth in one sense because all kind of youth meet and talk and discuss what they would like to do in the future and what they're looking forward to. But the old people sitting down in the jobs are gone to run.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I do understand the comments shared by the caller there. What I would say, in anything, in anything that we're doing here in St. Kitts and Nevis public-private sector, I believe in youth and experience. That is my position on anything, youth and experience. Yes, young people should be given an opportunity at the decision-making table. So it's not just to have these conferences and consultations, but to actually allow them to sit at the table and have their voices heard. All right? Let's take a pin. Let's head back to the phone lines.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Before I have a question to ask you. What the percentage of youths are in St. Kitts? Do you know that?
The percentage of youth in St. Kitts and Nevis?
Yeah.
I don't have information with me right now.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking that, I don't know for how many years now they are doing the youth consultation. But the question is to ask, in the manifestos, how much percentage or how much value is given to the youth ideas?
How much? So, in other words, how many of their ideas are put into manifestos?
Put to the test.
Okay.
So that's a good question. It's okay hearing from them, but if they're not doing what they're saying, for me, it can be more or less a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know the youths will definitely come to adults, and those are the ones going to run this country.
Mm-hmm.
So the quicker and earlier the ideas get into role, it'll be better for them. Speaking another thing about the call, say about the seniors. I do believe that they should have maybe a 1 or 2 seniors still stay on, only just to teach the youth the rope. Because government run on a formality. It's not like say you come with the ideas, the program said this is the way the program gonna run, and you just follow the guidelines. The older ones is only there to see that it's not going wrong, but there's always a formality that they goes on. So having more youth inside is not a problem, because sometimes they say, oh, you don't have the experience. Sometimes you really don't need the experience. You learn on the job.
Mm-hmm.
President Obama did learn on the job. Even Mr. Douglas, Prime Minister Douglas, he learned on the job. Because there was civil servant there to show him the ropes. So sometimes I think they don't really have to rehire so many elderly to say to pass on the ideas. They just follow the formality. Unless you have a agenda, you just follow the agenda, and everything will just fall into place. That's what I think, but I like to know the percentage of youth in St. actually. All right,
caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Call us at those numbers to participate in the discussion for today. I was making the point, youth and experience in anything. There must be youth and experience. You can't go hard on one saying, let's push out all of the older folks in the service. Because quite frankly, you have some young people that may not be able to deliver. At the same time, you can't say, let's have all of the older folks in the service, But in anything, youth and experience. But thank you, those two callers. Very interesting points. Let's head back to the phone lines. We have a caller. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello?
Hi, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. The gentleman is so right. It's going to happen, right? But I noticed that they like to start something. Then they don't start between them. They never let the public know. Well, I suppose there's a big plan. Don't forget me. Do you all think it will be okay? I suppose they'll want to forget me. Connery, nothing. And I always wonder why they don't wait done. What they have to do be passed and think, oh, I think they're going to build the hospital down there by thing. Let us so you think that right? You're on that hill, Just suggesting, you like a mountain, but playing devil advocate. So suppose something happens, the hill break in, a little flush water into the hospital, damage it done, if you all find a different place, nothing. They had a nice youth shot thing the other day, it was sounding very informative. So, as the gentleman said, they need to come confront you first. So, sit down and talk around table talk. And there's some people make a decision, not doing, they don't make the decision. They come say, it's up on the mountain top of side, I'm going to build the hospital, Or you're walking, just look up, I'm going to see it up there. Don't just pray that it ain't fall down. So, thing is so, technology is so high. But it people back into darkness. As they had a talk show before you come on, and I was expressing myself. But so you see the water system, Mr. Cornelius?
I'm listening.
Yeah, your mommy will know if she alive, if she been past that they will know. about the water. We had water in Galoa. They ain't know why they should have an idea why the ponds are muddy. Was to get rain. I tell you, rain used to get rain about 4-5 times a week. Rain get on. Food.
Right.
When you see people bringing food from the mountain, yeah, I'm telling you, that's big no. When you cook one, it full your belly. You don't want a fish to go with it. Sometimes chicken and all wasn't so popular. You mean about fish and meat, corn, meat and so. These people that follow the people them in the country about full of pan. You think we used to be hot? You think pan used to say, well, we know about pan. All I know say, your house, your little house, old man, bagger and bam, you hear the wind blow the window. When last you hear that? Because the can't go up in Trinidad. It's just man going to spoil man. And is that what happened so hot with me? Someday I lock up my house, Mr. Cornelius, go down the road after 5, 6. When you come back up in the night, 7, 8, it still feel a heat coming out. Them days it never used to happen.
All right, caller. Well, thank you so much. We want to take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll take some more calls. All right. It is 11:34 here in the studios of ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Join us every Wednesday for In Focus, a weekly talk show produced by the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, where we provide exclusives with key persons within the government and discuss pertinent, relevant, and interesting matters that affect us all. Tune in every Wednesday, live on ZIZ Radio and streamed live on Facebook at SKNIS Media and ZIZ Online. In Focus, your government, your business.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius. It is Wednesday, October 11, 2023. Thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, as I mentioned, we're on the topic of the National Consultation with the Youth on Sustainable Island State Transformation. And today they are hearing from young people their thoughts, views, and ideas. It says here that there will be 7 key pillars that they're focusing on for the Federation's Sustainable Island State Agenda, namely food for security, green energy transition, economic diversification, sustainable industries, the creative economy, COVID-19 recovery, and social protection. It says here that the Sustainable Island State Agenda outlines a comprehensive strategy across 7 pillars encompassing critical areas such as ensuring water and food security, transitioning towards sustainable energy and industry, promoting sustainable communities, and a circular economy, and providing robust social protection for all citizens. It continues by saying that this approach aims to create a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable future for St. Kitts and Nevis, with a strong emphasis on both environmental sustainability and socio-economic viability. Now, I was able to get some information coming out of the youth consultation happening there, and they shared some information on employment statistics from COVID-19, and I thought it might be useful for me to share this with you so that we can get a better understanding of the recovery, how the recovery process in St. Kitts and Nevis after COVID-19. So according to the statistics shared at the youth consultation, this is employment statistics on COVID-19 impact. Now, in the construction sector, In terms of employment, in 2019, there was 1,527. In 2020, we saw a decline to 1,093. In 2021, a slight increase to 1,141. And in 2022, 1,109. For wholesale and retail trade, in the year 2019, there was 2,997. And in 2020, that's when the pandemic came, it dropped to 2,558. In 2021, 2,569. And in 2022, 2,791. Now, for hotels and restaurants, this is the tourism and hospitality industry. And we know that this area went underwater when COVID came, right? In 2019, we had 3,277. In 2020, it dropped to 2,102. In 2021, it went down again to 1,869. And in 2022, that is when we saw the recovery happening, the reopening of the economy in 2022, mostly in mid-2022, around August, September. So the numbers there are 2,662. For public administration, which is government, the numbers really remain the same. Both in St. Kitts and Nevis, there were no layoffs per se. There were no layoffs. And so people who worked for the public sector were able to keep their jobs. So in 2019, it was 10,110. And for 2020, it was 10,114. 2021, it was 9,968. I'll have to do some research to find out why there was a drop between 2020 and 2021. And for 2022, 10,270. All right, those are the employment statistics from the COVID-19 impact. All right, it is 11:41. Let's head back to the phone lines and we will take some more calls. You can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Do we have a call on the line? We have a caller. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brother Devonne.
Yes, go ahead.
Give me again. Brother Devonne, you're right, Youth with experience. I have nothing against young people maybe going to university and coming back and getting a job and qualifying. But sometimes when you go in that job, sometimes you don't know the basic. And you need somebody in the experience in the apartment to show sometimes things what to do. And a lot of these youth, sometimes when they go and they come back and they get a job, sometimes they don't know how to speak to people. They might be university graduate and these things. They don't know how to speak to customers. I have nothing against you because I always praising the youth.
Right,
Every time I meet any college student, young lady who is studying, a young man who is studying.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to see them come because these are the future generation. These are the future politicians. And we want to see our youth rise and grow and do well. Have nothing against the youth, but it got to come with experience. Because I myself, in hotel, experience, I work in the hotel for several years, and I experienced young people coming in work, got their qualification, but you, other than me, still go tell them certain things, what to do from what end to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know the paperwork, but they know the basic. And this is just it, that the youth come with experience. Mm-hmm. Nothing against the youth. That is everyone, youth and experience. Okay then, Brother Devon.
All right, Colin, and thank you for sharing that experience. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Brother Devon.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm on the edge.
On the edge.
Don't show me over here. Okay. I agree with everyone who speak about youth and experience. They're supposed to mix. Because my experience, when I was going to school, I used to go and learn carpentry on weekends with a gentleman. And one time when I went there, he told me must go in the tool house. And I went to see elbow grease in there, bring it. I said, what you look like? He said, he hang up in there by the nail. There is nothing named elbow grease. So me now, as a young learner, went in there, full speed looking for elbow grease, and he out there laughing.
Uh-huh.
So it's another man who was standing up there, he tell me, boy, come out to India, they ain't got no tool named elbow grease. So here's where the youth has to mix with the experience.
Right. Correct.
Now, look at creation. When a banana tree getting ready to bear fruit, it started the shoot of a young one down in the earth to take over his place when he dead. Because the banana tree bear once and then he died, and the young one must be there to take over. And a lot of young people, every year, every end of school term, the amount of young people coming to school, there is not much for them to do. A lot of them have to resort to employment, what they never go over to study or learn in school. But to survive, they have to do that. Now, one little half a minute digest, if I got to go that far. Now, we have a problem with water in St. Kitts. And that has been for many years. And every administration going, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. Some try, and they fail, and some didn't try. Now, every time they talk about water, they're telling people to conserve water. Do not water your garden with no hose or whatever. Do not water no car. Do not water no grass. But have they spoken to those people with those big, what they call them, swimming pool in the yard? They know the amount of millions of gallons them swimming pool take to fill them up. We never hear them tell them on the way that you with the swimming pool, cut down your water, you can't use it right now. And let you go, you're going somewhere to buy water and fill it up. You cannot be doing it. But they ain't doing that. Because it's saying poor people got swimming pool. It's who got money got swimming pool. And any other tell them about that, it's going to be something else politically.
All right.
Anyway, Devon, the last thing. Do you think anybody supposed to be attacked by any dumb beast for using the government public street to walk?
Attacked by what?
Any dumb beast animal. Attack people when they walk in the government road. Okay, well, that is something very obvious in St. Kitts around the whole island. People walk in the government street and they are being attacked by vicious animals. And that's not supposed to be. Some months ago, I tell them that in Mr. Bratcher's time, he had a man named Bouncing Willie. He used to go around and capture dog was trained on the street. Sometimes he got like 5 dogs pulling in a rope and they don't know who he hold them. That because they were in the street, causing vehicles to get in accident and running after people and biting people. And nobody doing nothing about that. We just talking and they ain't doing nothing. But you see the man, Mr. Smith, he's well known all over the world. He has a chain link company. And he and his partner in business, they will always get work. Everyone have a good day.
All right, Colin, you too, and thank you so much for your contribution to this program. I want to share some information quickly as it relates to the preliminary GDP estimates 2023. So for construction, the percentage change is 3.7%, and the contribution to growth, it says infrastructure development and increased residential construction. It also speaks about public administration, and the percentage change there is 2.7%. And the contribution to growth, it speaks to the regularization of step workers and new hires. For financial services, that one is 4.8%, and it says uptick in loans and advances linked to an uptick in housing construction and other business activities. Hotels and restaurants, 30.1%. Increase airlift through increased marketing efforts and airlift support. And for transport and communication, that is 5.4%. It says return of cruise ships and passengers, plus increased construction activity boost this sector. Preliminary GDP estimates 2023 2023. It is 11:48. The phone lines are open and we want to hear from you. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. We have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Here again. Everybody talking about experience. People should be there with experience and youth. But Devon, in every department, even all old people are working there. And experience is in there because if 3 to 5 persons gone on retirement, right, or even leave to go to do something else in their life, you have people underneath them with experience who work in there. Some of them even working longer than those who left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why you have to bring back these old grandpa and grandma, these retirees, because you have people there with the experience. So as the youths come in, they will fall between and they will be taught by the experienced people who are left there. There are people there 40 odd, 50 odd, and so 60 odd and 70 odd go home. I don't see why you have to bring them back. It is wrong, Devon. It is wrong. So you're telling me, I'm working underneath you for 25 years, Devon. You do 30-something or 40-something, and I'm working under you for 25 years. I in my 40s or 50s. You're telling me alone nothing so I can't teach the people who coming in under me?
Mm-hmm.
That's pure rubbish and nonsense. We don't need back these grandpa and grandma. We are robbing the youth of making the contribution. You already make your contribution. Go home. Enjoy long retirement. Devon, you know how much years I be? 56 years. I retire at age 55. Right? I retire at year and plus now. I'm going to be 57 in a few months. Right? Mm-hmm. And I leave. I always tell them at the hospital that as soon as I make 55, I'm going home. Nobody going to write me and send me home. Then 1 week before my 55th birthday, because my birthday is the 15th of February. The 7th of February, the 8th of February, I carry my retirement letter. And they were refusing to take it. They asked me, what is that? I said, my retirement letter. I told you all in 2021, 2022 December is going to be my last. And the 7th of February 2022 or the 8th of February, I carry my retirement letter. And they are telling me, Mr. Brown, no, you're so young, where you going? You can't do 2 or 3 more years. I said, no, I already did my contribution. It's time for others to make the contribution.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. I said, 27 years and 3 months. Why don't you do again to keep out other people from making the contribution? Mm-hmm. I don't make the gratuity, I don't make the retirement. Why don't you study for to block other people? Because they're in a salary? No, I am home, enjoy my retirement, and I do a couple little other things while I'm home, but at my own time and my own pace. I'm my own boss. I'm gone, Devon.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution to the program. I want to share some additional information with you. It speaks to the downside risks to economic growth and development. According to information shared at the National Youth Consultation, it says that the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis is on track to surpass the pre-pandemic level of 2019 in 2024-2025. But notwithstanding, there are key downside risks, including the ripple effects of geopolitical tensions of the domestic economy, slower than expected growth of the global economy, delays in the start of work on major construction projects, and the impact of adverse weather conditions due to the impact of climate change, right? These are the areas we need to focus on if it is that we want a sustainable future in St. Kitts and Nevis. On the youth side of it, I was listening to Prime Minister Dr. Jew, and he made mention of a number of opportunities that exist, that are present, that exist in the country for young people. And he kept stressing on the lowered interest rate at Development Bank for young people to access. I think it is now at 5%. The scholarship opportunities, the training, these are the things that exist for young people. My view in a nutshell on the National Youth Consultation, I am 100% in support of it. These consultations and conferences need to happen more. But it's not just to have these consultations, right? The information that would come from having these consultations need to be taken seriously, right? If we're going to come and just have all of these consultations and not take into consideration the information shared or just ignore it, then we're doing an injustice, right? And we're not really working towards a sustainable island state or a sustainable future here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I understand the sentiments shared by the callers, right? In terms of youth, experience. For me, it is youth and experience in any area, all right? It's 11:54. We will wrap up this program at noon. The phone lines are open. We want to take your calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Morning, sir. Morning.
Yes, caller, morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. I called already and tell you about College Street, but with those buses who driving ever so fast. Now up at the government house by Fry's Village. The road there, that's private home, and they got sleeping policemen there. Out of concrete, put them here. You don't see how them buses just run here, you know, and you are going to pay. Man going to cry, mother. Thank you.
Okay, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 465-2555. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning. Caller? I think.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. What about you?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, great show, man.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the preliminary GDP estimates you put out just now, right? I'm going to go to the corruption that's been happening. How come the corruption part of it wasn't a part of that estimates? You know, corruption could be measured as well, right? And the corruption is a big factor that affects the GDP, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Different than that, I mean, maybe you can respond to that or somebody else can. Different to that, I just want to support the guy, Carl Brown. You know, I don't agree with the retirees them coming back and blocking up the spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a lot of young people that's qualified. I mean, you know, some people might say, well, young people don't have the experience. So then therefore, well, I know a lot of young people went away to school and came back and they want to make their contribution as well. Mm-hmm. You know, we need that. We need not really bring back the retirees to take up, you know, most of the top jobs. Like, you know what I mean? They have other persons that's qualified that can do that. And especially the young people, I would want to empower the young people to contribute to their own society, you know what I mean? And from a government perspective, they should try to encourage that as much as possible. But, you know, kudos to the guy Carl Brown again, and, you know, that's where my comments is on that line today because, you know, I've noticed there's a lot of recycled politicians as well. You know, some of these guys have contributed 20 years already in public service, and, you know, I believe that there should be a cap on the amount of years one should contribute. You know, term limitation for all the politicians across the board. The Prime Minister down to a parliamentarian, 2 terms for the Prime Minister, and anyone in public's domain, they should only be able to go to as far as like 20 years at the max.
All right.
And if you're a parliamentarian and you've been there for 20 years, you know, that's it, man. It's time for somebody else to take those, to come up and contribute to their own society. Mm.
All right,
out, man.
All right, Colin. You too, and thank you so much for your contribution. If I could put in one last thing here, in response to your question about the corruption estimates. I'm not certain why that information is not included in that. I know as it is right now, there's the Integrity in Public Life Commission, and the parliamentarians in both St. Kitts and Nevis have been presenting their assets to these commissions, the Integrity in Public Life Commission. But in terms of why the information is not included, I don't know. In short, I don't know. Guys, it is 12 noon, and so we're going to have to bring this program to a close. Thank you so much for joining me on The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Have a good one. Bye-bye.